Good evening everyone. Today we are going to discuss about robotics. Okay. So in this we are going to discuss about the controller topic. Already we people know that controller is the brain of the robot. The main function of the controller is to uh, direct the motion of the end effector. So usually the end effector is going to perform the particular task. It may be a gripper, means it's going to hold the component. It may be a tools, means it perform the operations. Okay. Degrees of freedoms in robots. So these degrees of freedom, we can going to consider along with the end effector. The end effector movement, we are going to consider the degrees of freedom over here. Usually the end effector is attached into the arm, and also it is going to perform the various tasks. This dark robot arm must be capable of moving the end effector through sequence of motion and positions. There are six basic motions or degrees of freedom which gives the robot capability to move the end effector through the required sequence of motions. Okay. So it's not have 6 degrees of freedoms in all the robot. It will be depends on the particular type of robots. It may be vary the degrees of freedom or the. So now we are going to discuss about the polar type robots. So in those things we are going to discuss about the degrees of freedom. So the various motions uh, in robot we are going to discuss, or degrees of freedom we are going to discuss over here. So that is the according to the arm and body motion, it may be a vertical traverse, radial traverse, rotational traverse. According to the wrist motions, it is a wrist swivel, wrist bend, wrist, yeah. So these things we are going to discuss now. Mm. Vertical traverse, it moves the arm up and down direction. So the arm, it will be moves with up and down direction with help of this body part. Okay. Then comes into the radial traverse. Radial traverse is this one on this arm. It will be extension or retraction, it will be takes place. Okay. This is about the radial traverse. Then comes into the rotational traverse. Along with the vertical axis, the body has to be rotate. Either it may be a left or right directions. It will be swivel along of the arm. Okay. This is about the uh, arm and body motions. Then comes into the wrist motions. Mm, the wrist motions, so there are three types. One is the wrist band, and wrist yaw, and wrist swivel. First we are going to discuss about the wrist swivel. It is the rotation of the wrist about its own axis. About its own axis it start to swivel. So that is the wrist swivel. Then wrist bend, it is up and down direction, as well as it is up and down direction movement of the wrist, and which also involves the rotational movement. So it will be moves up and down direction, as well as rotational movement also possible over here. So based upon the this arm position. Then comes into the wristia. This will be right or left swivel of the wrist. So this will be right or this of the swivel wrist. Yeah. So this is also one of the rotational axis. So this is about the various motions in the robot. Then comes into the motion control system. It will be the point to point method and continuous path contouring method. So point to point method means the robot has to be moved from one point to the another point. So here it will be moving from one point to the another point. The path is not important over here. But anyway, it has to be move over here. So it comes in the open loop control system. So these are all the point to point method. Then comes into the continuous path and contouring method. So it will be also call it as walkthrough robots. So it uses in the closed loop systems. Okay, so it will be move at any direction, anyway it will be move. So according to that, the program has to be written and fixed over in the robots. Okay, here the thing is, uh, here the continuous path has to be memorized than just the end point. So this continuous path or contouring method have more memory capacity, as well as uh, control requirements are more over in this contouring method. The next we are going to discuss about the technical features of the robot. So there are for 5 important technical features are there in the robots. One will be the work volume, second one will be the precision of movement, third one will be the speed movement, and fourth one will be weight carrying capacity, fifth one will be the types of drive system. So now we will see one by one. So first we are going to discuss about the work volume. So work volume is the maximum extents the end effector has to be moved over here. That is called it as work volume. That means maximum distance the end effector it can move and pick the component, and it will be drop the component. So that is the work volume. See, if you take down the Cartesian configuration method, the maximum movement of the end effector is up to this the rectangular dotted line they given, no? So that one. So same like here also the polar coordinate system. So within this volume it has to be move over here. Okay, that maximum reach out of the end effector is the this points. Okay, so then comes same like in the other things also. So that is called it as work volume. Then comes into the precision of the movement. So the precision with which a robot can move its wrist end is important in robot motion. That means it will be specify the how the end effector it reaches the target point. Based upon this, it has some 3 attributes. Okay, so first one will be the spatial resolution, second one will be the accuracy, third one will be the repeatability. First we are going to discuss about the spatial resolution. Suppose this is the fixed point. Okay, the end effector is going to take the component from here, and it has to be go over in the particular target point. But the the end effector it will be moved nearer by the target point. So that means that is called it as spatial resolution. So here what happens, it depends upon the inaccuracy of the robot joint, it may be happen, and also it depends on the robot control resolution, which in turn depends on its position, control and feedback measurement systems. So based on this, the spatial resolution it will be varied. That means it will be that the end effector it will be moves slight increment to the target point. That means that is the spatial resolution. Accuracy means the end effector exactly it will be gone stopped over in the target point. That is accuracy. Then comes into the repeatability. So after it will be reaching the target point, again it has to be returned to the starting point. So those time it will not exactly stop on the start point. Somewhere nearer by slight increment nearer by the start point it will be start, means that is called it as repeatability. This is are the called as precision movement. The precision movement it will be based on the movement of the end effector towards to the target point. Then comes into the next thing, the speed. The robot speed can be defined according to the end effector. So the movement of the end effector it defines the speed of the robot. The speed ranges up to maximum 1.5 meter per second. The robots are provided with adjustment of speed to a desirable limit depending on the task to be performed over there. So this will be robot speed. Then comes into the weight carrying capacity. The weight carrying capacity refers to maximum weight that can be handled by a robot at its end effector. Suppose example, so total weight carrying capacity is the 125 kilogram, means the robo end effector having 25 kilogram weight, means the maximum weight carrying capacity of the robot will be 100. So that means it including the end effector weights. So total weight it will be carries 125 kilogram. The here 25 kilogram is the end effector weight, means so it can carry the remaining 100 kilogram weight only. This is about the weight carrying capacity of the robots.